It's that time of season, and I know you're looking for the perfect Christmas tree, so here it is. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda in here in my living room, and I got this tree here. I think it's a 7-foot Christmas tree. I'll have to look at the specs, but you'll probably celebrate Christmas this year as the snow starts coming down and the spending starts going up and the late nights, late mornings, because you're off of work, you are going to want to have a Christmas tree to bring that spirit of the holidays. Now, I am one of these guys that loves a real, original fir evergreen tree, and I just can't stand going out and getting them and how quickly they dry out and the house fire situation and spending the money each year to get another one. So I bought this one. So we get 3 different pieces here. This piece in here, this smaller piece, that's obviously the top, and then we have this piece and this piece. It's not obvious which is the base and which is the middle, but I will tell you by looking at the pipe here, that will tell you. Now, what I actually thought was that this crimp piece was going to go as the second piece, but it's actually the first piece. So this is going to fit into the base there, and then this piece will fit into that piece, and then this piece will fit into that piece. So you want to grab the part here with the crimped end. You want to take off this little band here. That's just kind of holding the branches down. And now we will drop that in, tighten it up, and let these branches splay out. All right, so I've got this base piece in. I just tighten these down with my thumb as much as I can. You can see the little cord hanging off here. There's actually a little pouch in the box that I think is going to be the extension cord for this. It's going to plug into the wall. You can see how these are all kind of falling down a little bit just like that. All right, so they're falling down. So it's going to be easy to deploy. And then you want to spread all these out. That's really what's going to fill out the tree and kind of make it look right. But the nice thing is when you put this guy back for next year, all these will go up like this, and it'll kind of compress and make it a little easier to store. Now, next year, who knows if I'll celebrate Christmas. I like celebrating all of the different holidays. That way, I keep all the deities happy, and just hedge my bets in case I'm wrong about something. But we've got the base in here already, and so now all we have to do is put that middle section and the top section on, and then getting it all wired up and all these separated, and then get some ornaments hung on it. So, why are you just sitting there waiting? Let's get working. All right, I've got all 3 pieces set up there. And with that one lone sad branch sticking straight up, this is a 7-foot tall tree because let's face it, I'm almost 6 foot and this is at least a foot taller than me. And if I were actually 5'7", well, then it would even be taller. But look, we can see that there are lots of holes here. So I'm going to be spending some time spreading the branches here. But one of the things that I realized, and it's different from some of the trees I've had in the past, is that these plugs usually connect to the bottom section or the middle section and then the bottom section and then the plug. But I have the plug right here. So you can see it's 2-prong plug and then a fuse in there. But what we have hanging off of it are 3 individual plugs. So I think I just extend this cord out and then I can plug these into each individual level. So they don't kind of string together. They are kind of in series, I think. So actually, I think that makes it a little easier. But what it also has led me to do is just kind of spin around the sections so that the plugs are all in the back, so that if I have some wires hanging down, it's not quite as obvious. So I'm going to get this wired up, the branches all spread out, and then we'll see what it looks like. And if I feel like breaking into Christmas song. Okay, the most detailed, in-depth thing you're going to do is kind of spread these out. Takes a little time. I put on a podcast, listen to it. Looks pretty good. There are probably some spaces like right there that I could bend the branches a little bit more to kind of fill it out. But it's starting to look like a real tree. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the power cord here and get it wired into each of these sections, and we'll see if this thing looks like Christmas. All right, so I've got the tree wired up there. Those little red ribbons around the plugs help a lot in the middle and the lower section. At the top, they don't have one. I would highly recommend putting one on there because the green on green is very hard to see. Now, let's go ahead, flip on the light switch here and see if it feels like Christmas here. Hallelujah. Wow. It feels like Christmas! Yes! Oh, yes! All right, I'm over it. Let's take a close look at it. All right, so this is what it looks like. We've got those little tiny twinkly lights on there. If we back up here, man, That looks like a Christmas tree. No sludging around in the forest, cutting down a tree, getting all sappy, having to buy a tree every year. No more running twinkly lights on the tree. You can have it pre-lit, delivered like this. Fill up your room, 7 feet tall. Celebrate Christmas. Enjoy the spirit of the holidays. This tree apparently does it all. It's like a magical tree. And you know what? It's also cheap. So if you want to pick this up, I'll put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda. And Merry Christmas. Out.